wait until we're ready. Don't just start the recording at like without warning us.
Hello and welcome once again, one and all, to the Nordic Council. I am joined by our regulars, Tristan and Arlo.
All right.
All right.
So, what are we going to talk about today?
Today we're going to talk about something a lot of kids from the 2010s are familiar with: mobile games.
Dude, mobile games, man, that really does bring me back.
I have a lot to say about mobile games. Where are we gonna start? Do we want to approach with a negative outlook or a positive outlook, or are we reminiscing, or are we commenting on the current state of mobile games? Because there's a lot to dissect here.
I
Yes, a bit
say,
of both.
I guess what I suggest we could do is we could start with like the criticisms and the current state, and then we can move on to like reminiscing and talking about the stuff we used to play. I think that's a good way to do it. Get the negative out of the way and then move on to the positive.
I'm down.
Yeah.
What was your
All right.
favorite mobile game when you were growing up? Like, which one do you remember first that comes to mind?
God, I don't really
Because
remember.
for me,
It's been so.
it's like Jetpack Joyride, Subway
Oh, dude,
Surfers,
yes.
Temple Run. There's this
Temple.
less popular game called Mega Jump, and that one was where you would have to tilt the phone to get this like little like alien guy to collect all the coins, but every time he collected a coin, it would boost him up. And there were no platforms, so you would just be collecting money and like platforms at the same time because it was like a dual mechanic,
Yeah. Oh,
and it was
yeah, I
really
remember that
addictive.
game. That game was really good. But dude, I think my favorite out of the ones that you mentioned there was definitely Jetpack Joyride. I freaking loved Jetpack Joyride.
I got back into it for like a span of like 2 weeks, kind of relatively recently. And yeah, no, pretty much every mobile game that we've loved is when we were little kids is now like completely flooded with ads. Like EA
Yeah.
owns Plants vs. Zombies now, and you can't download Plants vs. Zombies without constantly being asked to like buy gems or whatever. And I was like, when did
Oh
this
my god.
game,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
even the original app, like the first Plants vs. Zombies OG game that you can still download on the App Store is now flooded, just like drenched in just like pay us money and get these new cool features. And it's like I don't remember this from when I was little.
Yeah, I mean, why would you give EA your money when you could give it to us, sub to the Nerd
Oh
Council
my God.
Patreon?
Okay, you need to stop. They already heard.
Yeah,
Shameless plug, I know.
when I think mobile games, I usually think of like golden stuff like Angry Birds, Cut the
Oh,
Rope,
dude,
Tiny Thief.
I was just gonna bring up Angry Birds, man. That was like, I think that was really like the first one that I really played and got into, because my grandma actually played it. She had it on her iPad, and pretty much every time I go there when I was younger, I'd ask to play Angry Birds on her iPad. That was a lot of fun.
Angry Birds was the game. It was Angry Birds and Bloons Tower Defense 5 that I would always play on my mom's phone before I even had my own cell phone. And we would be like on a plane or in the car, and I was waiting for her to get gas or get groceries, and she would just hand me her phone. And those were the two games that I would play. And then I also think she had
Uh,
Jetpack Joyride.
I never played the Balloon Tower Defense, but I definitely did play Angry Birds and
But you've played Bloons
Jetpack
before,
Joyride.
right?
Not really, actually.
Oh my
I
God, are
never
you
really did.
serious? It's
Yeah,
free.
I
I
don't think
know.
I've
I
ever
just
heard of
never
that
really
game,
played it.
Balloon.
It's not called Balloons, it's called Bloons. Bloons. This is an
Oh,
iconic game. It's where you take a monkey and the monkey has a dart and you place it on the map, and it's a tower defense game, and the balloons come in a path and the monkey will pop the balloons with the dart and you upgrade your towers and get different ones. It was like the first like big tower defense game for me.
I mean, I know what you're
oh,
talking about. I just never played it.
But I don't think Julian knows what I'm talking about. I think this is new to him, and
uh,
that's insane.
no. Oh, I've never heard that. That kind of flew under the radar for me. And I played mobile games a lot.
it's not just a mobile game either. Like it was on Congregate, it was on like Miniclip. You could play it wherever you could play games, and it was like in the library on the library computers during recess. My friends would play Bloons. Um,
Bro, we
yeah.
gotta talk about mini clips. Like, dude,
Well,
mini
that's not
clips
a mobile game
was.
site. That's
I mean,
browser
it's not a.
games.
Yeah, but I just want to bring it up, dude. Like, mini
Okay, all right,
clips
side
was
rant.
like. Yes, I'd rant. Mini clips was like my gaming console. I mean, I had gaming consoles. Like, I had a PS2, and later I got a Wii. But like, I definitely spent more time on mini clips than I ever did on my PS2 because most of my games on PS2 sucked. There was only like maybe two that I had that were actually good. Yeah, and I mean, I know mini clips isn't like the the bastion of quality games or anything, but I think I just liked those more than the ones on my PS2.
Well, it's what you remember, and at least you
Yeah.
owned your own PS2. I always had to play on my brother's whenever he was playing. It wasn't mine, and that was like my first gaming console. He would always hand me the second controller, and we would play Dark Alliance and Mortal Kombat Deception.
Well, that's the perk of not having siblings is you have crippling loneliness, but you get your own PS2, so it kind of
Oh,
balances out.
trust me. Having a 20-year-old brother in the house all the time is not super helpful for the crippling loneliness. Let me just, yeah, no, it's still there.
I mean, it doesn't go away, but
Yeah,
it helps a
your
little bit.
problems must be coming from somewhere else. Back to mobile
Definitely.
games. What was the last
Yes.
mobile game that you played on your phone? Because for me, it's Hearthstone, which isn't just a mobile game, so I guess it's kind of cheating. And it's also like it's made by a really shitty company.
Yeah, I mean, Blizzard is actually its own fucking video. We can make a whole video about how much Blizzard
We
is
hate
fucking terrible.
Blizzard.
But I don't
Yeah.
know. That's a good question. Would you consider games like say PC or console games that are on a mobile device a mobile game like Terraria? Terraria is on mobile. Would you consider if you played Terraria on mobile, would that be considered a mobile game or would it just be
It's
Terraria on
Terraria on
mobile?
Oh,
mobile because what defines a mobile game is it being you have to play it on like an iPad or on your phone or iPod or whatever.
yeah, like if it came out on something that isn't an iPad or a phone, then it's not a mobile game. It's just a game that got a really small port.
Yeah, because it was like it
Yeah.
didn't come out on mobile at first. Something like I think Plants vs. Zombies, the original, is only a mobile game, but it's been ported to like the browser and like emulators. I'm assuming. So
Yeah.
it's still a mobile game though, because that's where the majority of people play it, and that's where it first came out.
I remember about bringing up Terraria on mobile. That's when I first played Terraria. I first played Terraria on
Me
mobile,
too.
and that thing got updated. Like they just like stopped giving a shit, I guess, because that game updated like not at all. It updated maybe once every year,
Damn.
if
I
that.
remember the music
Yeah.
so well from just sitting on my friend's
Oh,
porch across the street and just hearing like the soundtrack, just like the opening like doot 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 or whatever. And like
yeah.
the very
Oh,
slow
so
synth in
iconic.
the opening theme. And I never really played the legitimate game because there's not like a creative mode like Minecraft. It's only like survival and it's always you have to start with no resources. So we would just exploit the duping glitch where you like the duplicating items where you put them in a chest and take it out at the same time. And so I would always immediately get like the highest quality gear and then not know what to do because I didn't actually know how to play the game. And that was like the last time I actually played Terraria.
Yeah, I haven't played Terraria in like so long. I have it on Steam. But I like never play it at all.
It always felt just a little too cartoony for me, you know, like just with all of
Mhm.
the like crazy named items and like the strange art style and like how if you have like all the best gear, sometimes it's not even like it doesn't even look good when you put it on. It's just like a bunch of random stuff.
Well, it's kind of like D&D. I mean, it's got a bunch of like the magic items in D&D are like weirdly named, like
Yeah, they're
bag
like
of
wacky.
holding, shield of blocking.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know.
Sort of slashing.
That's D&D 5e. At least you can homebrew whatever you want.
Bottle of drinking.
Do you remember when that kid would always bring his D&D book to school before we were into it, and we thought it was like we legitimately were like the 80s movie bullies, where it was just like, haha, that D&D is for nerds. Look at all of these silly items like shield of blocking and bag of holding and sword of fire, and it was like, yeah, I mean they're called that because that's what effects they have. And I was like, but look at this dumb art that someone spent a lot of time on.
Dude, the art. I
Come
like
on,
the art.
guys, let's go
D&D.
join Cobra Kai or something cooler.
I like the art too.
It's funny you say that, Julian, because I was actually in Taekwondo at that time.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
I remember you vaguely mentioning Taekwondo like once or twice.
yeah, I was in Taekwondo for like pretty much all of middle school, like 2 years. But then the place shut down because the the owner, the sensei, he was having like family problems back home, so he had to go home, and it shut down, and he never reopened it. So
Oh,
I just never went to Taekwondo again.
So now we know why I can beat your ass in a fight.
Oh, is that a challenge?
I revoke what I said. I didn't say anything.
You want to take this outside, bro? You want fucking take this outside? Huh?
So anyway, mobile games.
Do you guys play Clash of Clans?
Oh my god, I completely forgot about the like tower like base defense games. Like Boom Beach was a later one, and Clash of Clans was like the OG. I remember that really well, but I never got super far.
Oh yeah, boom.
yeah, I was
tried
never
others.
into tower defense games, so I remember seeing a lot of ads for Clash of Clans.
Yeah, I tried the other ones of that genre, like Boom Beach and what were the other ones? I can't even remember any other ones. But the only one I really got into was Clash of Clans, and even then I wasn't that good at it. I'd get to like level 5, like Town Hall level 5, and then just immediately get wrecked by everybody else.
Yeah, like that one guy with the name in Mandarin who raids your base at like 2:42 a.m. and you come back and all of your bases are just completely destroyed, and you're like, "Oh, this isn't fun."
Dude, every day I would like wake up and I'd be like, "Oh, time to check on my base," and like it would say, and my base would be completely fucking destroyed. And I'm like, "What the hell?" And I'd look at, and it would tell you like who raided you, and they were all in like fucking Chinese or Korean, and I'm like,
I don't know what
God.
that was. Did you guys ever play the spin-off games from Supercell, that same company, like Clash Royale? Because I
Yes,
played a
dude. Oh
shit
my
ton
God.
of Clash Royale, like
Dude,
later
in
on.
like 7th and 8th grade, that was like the biggest game. Remember in 8th grade, Arlo, when we started playing Magic at school, and then like slowly every other guy in our class started playing Magic.
Hell fucking yeah. That's still one of my brags to this day, is that I got everyone at school to start. I mean, it was a small ass school, but everyone started playing Magic after no one was playing Magic, and we were the pioneers.
It was so funny. People like thought I was this like fucking Magic god, but I sucked back then. I was fucking terrible. But
we were both pretty terrible.
Everyone was
so was
like,
everyone else.
Dude, I mean, I'm still terrible. I suck at Magic, but I mean, I knew the rules, and I guess everyone kind of just saw me as like one of the founders, so they kind of just like put me on this pedestal, I guess. But like, I remember in like the second half of the year, every fucking guy in our school was playing Magic, at least to some degree.
Yeah,
it was insane, and it was funny because you remember.
Yes, I do. I never really talked to him, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was in study hall, and I was like looking at one of the Magic. It was like a Magic book. It was like they had these things where it would show you like all of the cards, and he and he's like, "Hey, are you reading? Is that magic?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Wow, what a loser, what a nerd." And then guess what? Like a few months later, he was playing Magic too.
Well, I'm sure that it was like ironic. But yeah, no, everyone was playing it. And I remember even the teachers, like we got the freaking science
Oh,
teacher and
yeah,
oh
we
my
got
god,
science teacher, we got Isaac.
what a bro. He was a
Wow.
dad.
Isaac was a Chad.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that I wanted to talk about kind of mobile games I grew up with because I wasn't really a action tower defense kid. I was into a lot of cutesy shit. You know?
Give us some examples. You can't just use the word
Uh,
cutesy and then just like leave it there. I want to know.
oh, well, I was, as I mentioned earlier, I loved Cut the Rope as a kid.
Oh, damn. I remember Cut the Rope. It wasn't
Bro,
one of
cut
those
the
that
rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never played it, but like my friends had it and my babysitter had it on her iPad.
It's just, I really liked it because it was a combination of two kinds of games I like cutesy stuff and puzzle games. Like, I was obsessed with puzzle games.
Did you ever
Like,
play Where's My Water?
oh,
Oh
yeah,
Or
yes.
whatever it
Where's my
was?
water?
I forget if I did play that or not. I remember seeing a lot of ads for it, though. Yeah, I was obsessed with puzzle games, and one of them I think was the last mobile game I remember playing was Tiny Thief. It was made by the same people behind Angry Birds, and I got it mostly because of how it's a medieval setting, which I was also obsessed with as a kid.
I feel like I've heard that name before, but I don't think I ever played that game.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
recognizing it looks like you put a graphic in the Discord and I'm not recognizing it, but I do recognize the name. So maybe one
yeah.
of my friends played it.
Yeah, it's basically a point and click adventure kind of game where it's like you're this old guy, you have to click on stuff and figure out how to get past the guards, like by doing stuff like pouring lemonade in their eyes or just burning the castle down.
How
Those
do
are
you
two
do?
wildly different tones of solutions for the same problem.
Mm,
It's like, all right, lads, how are we gonna get into the castle? I've got it. We get this lemonade and we toss it in their eyes, and while they're sitting on the ground in pain, we run past them.
I've
All
got a
right,
better
that could
idea.
work. All right,
Arson.
all right. It's like I got one. All right, Jared, what you got? All right, lads. How about we burn the fucking castle down? Genius. Let's do
yeah,
it.
Austin solves everything.
All right. I think we said we were going to talk about like the negatives first and then reminisce second, but we kind of reversed that. So I think now we should talk about what we don't like about
Yeah,
it.
we
kind
kind
of
of did. We just
Yeah.
abandoned the plan entirely. Um,
yeah.
Mm.
all right, first off, the fucking the scammy misleady ads for mobile games these days that you see like on Instagram and like on any game that you download where they're just pumping out like, well, okay, what are kids attracted to? What do they want? Uh, and what are we not gonna put on our game? Well, women with highly objectified bodies, um, unrealistic expectations for like good graphics, um, a fake gameplay for a game that is completely different from the one that we are advertising. Yes, this will get us money because once people click on these ads and they download the game and they see that it is absolutely nothing like what they were led to believe it was, they're going to keep playing because that's how the human mind works. Or I don't know. Maybe they know that people will delete the apps after they find out that it's not what they wanted, like right away. But they're still getting money for number of like downloads or number of ads like clicked on. It's so trashy, and no matter how many of them I report, I still see more. Do you guys resonate with that? Because like every single one is like
Yeah.
worse than the last one.
Yeah. I remember it's like whenever there was like one big mobile game of like semi-decent quality, say like Clash of Clans, there would be the App Store would just be flooded with like cheap clones.
Yeah, with like knockoffs. And it's like Among Us and Minecraft and like yeah, Clash of Clans and like all these classic games have had so many like poorly named knockoffs that are either sold for like a lower price but stream more ads or are just like worse. Some of them even charge you for it, like the audacity. Oh my god, you're expecting people to pay for this?
Yeah,
Hmm.
they're just scams. Freaking crazy how many there were of those.
Are you familiar with the game Hustle
Yeah.
Castle?
Oh, I've never heard of that.
No.
It's okay. Good. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm sure maybe some of the listeners are going to know exactly what I mean when I say Hustle Castle has the worst ads for any mobile game to ever exist. Besides maybe Episode, but at least Episode's ads are like kind of like what they actually are in the
Oh
in
my
the app.
dude, the episode ads. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember those fucking ads. Holy. They were like the
Yeah,
weirdest. I would be
I mean
like
they're
browsing
cringe,
on
but
the
they're like yeah, I mean they're cringe, but they're accurate to what the actual game is, at least somewhat.
yeah, yeah. I don't think I ever played that game, but god fuck. I saw those ads all over the place.
Hmm.
Remember there's the one where it's like my boyfriend's in the shower. What should I do? And then there's like fuck, what
Yeah,
were the
they're like
choice?
go in and have graphic sex with him behind the curtain of the shower or jump out a window. And you're like, "Oh, well, okay, looks like I have to jump out a window because the slightly less worse option costs 200 gems and I only have 10 gems and they want me to pay for it."
Yeah,
Hmm.
It's like,
god.
can't you just be impartial to some options? Like, god damn it.
Or can't you? How about why don't they? Why don't you make them act like a normal person? Like, huh? My boyfriend's in the shower. Should I A, jump in and surprise him, or B, jump out the fucking window?
Yeah,
Like, is there really no?
it's
There's
like
no option C. Like, I don't know. We just experienced some technical difficulties.
Is this winding up in the recording?
no.
All right, let's focus.
I'm so
So we were talking about like the negatives of mobile games, and one thing I want to mention is how bad some of these games are. Like, not just the ads. Okay, well, mostly the ads, but anyways, like if you look up images for bad mobile games on Google, the first thing you get is what seems to be some sort of game where you like chuck stuff into plumber cracks. I don't know
I
how else
feel
to
like I
say
that
it.
played
game.
that game a
I
long
didn't
time
play
ago.
it, but
Eh,
I know that game. And could you imagine the developers who made this? Like, they get out of school, they're finally able to do what they wanted with their life and make video games, and then they have to make this. I guess you
yeah.
gotta start somewhere. I
Hmm.
guess. But God, man, I couldn't imagine. Uh, that would be like for me, if like I graduated college and was like with like full degrees in like creative writing, and then I wrote just like cheap romance novels. I mean, nothing personally against cheap romance novels, but like, I mean, they're kind of like cheap for a reason.
Yeah, I think the worst kind of mobile games are the ones that claim to be like mobile versions of a popular game, like Cuphead, but when you download it, it is clearly not Cuphead. It's just some really
Oh yeah,
weird. Yeah.
you get those like Chinese rip-off versions of like popular games.
Mm.
Like you get, like I remember there were so many like Pokemon rip-offs on the App Store, and I would
Mm.
search for those because I heard that you could get Pokemon games on your phone. So I would like search on the App Store, but all I would get are like the cheap rip-off ones.
Yeah, like the monster collecting games, like some of them were actually pretty original. I remember one called I can't remember what it was, but I tried re-downloading it like earlier this year and it didn't work. Like it would start and then just crash. So I'm pretty sure it's been like discontinued, but uh just like it wasn't operational. But I remember catching this like little fire monster and like progressing on like a linear map with like stage to stage and battling, and it was kind of a copy of Pokemon, but it was much easier and much better fit for like a mobile screen. So some of them were quality, but a lot of others were just like shitty ports.
Yeah, you can get like
Yeah.
there are quality mobile games out there, but there's just very few, honestly. Like they're very like getting a quality mobile game is very few and far between. Like there are only maybe a handful that I can think of, and that's like Clash of Clans, Pokemon Go. Uh, Trying to think of anything else. Jetpack Joyride. I thought Jetpack Joyride was pretty good. Uh,
Oh, Subway Surfers.
Yeah, Subway
uh,
Surfers and Temple Run were kind of like the same vibe. Although I tried playing
Mm.
Temple Run like actually pretty recently. Like I was on the toilet and I had nothing to do, and so I just downloaded Temple Run, and it doesn't really work anymore. Like the controls I kind of remembered, but I was really crappy at it for some reason. Like
Hmm.
it doesn't work the same way, and there are ads now and like gems that you can pay for.
yeah.
Wow.
Why is it always
Remember,
gems and like diamonds or rubies?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's a sign that you got a bad game.
Is when you got
I
the
always scroll
gems.
down. Yeah, you always scroll down on the App Store page just to see if there's in-app purchases. And then you can click on them and it'll list every possible in-app purchase you can get. And if it says stuff like bag of coins, sack of coins, chest of coins, mountain of coins, then you know you're like, oh,
Yeah,
that's not gonna be fun at all.
Coin of coins.
Ah, yes, a new D&D item, the coin of coins.
It's
it
a
would be.
coin, but if you break it, a bunch of really small coins come out.
Yeah, it's just the thing is like that's what separates. For me, it's what separates, like, um, like a real video game. I know that sounds really gatekeepy, but like real video games like on PC or console versus versus mobile games. Like you wouldn't be playing like imagine playing like Skyrim and then you walk into Whiterun and then like a courier pops up and is like, wow, you look quite low on coin, Dragonborn. Would you like to spend 10.99 to get 2,000 septims?" Be like,
And it's like,
what the fuck?
would
Why
I
are you
like to
here?
what? Would I like to watch a what? An ad? What's an ad? Completely immersion breaking.
It's like you have run out of stamina. Would you like to spend 2.99 to instantly regain all of it? Like, no, go away. Like, yeah, it's totally immersion breaking. It wouldn't fit at all. Terrible. I would hate it.
Yeah, so I'm not saying like mobile games were the best to begin with, but it's pretty clear that there's been a decline in quality.
I mean, I don't personally really think there was ever like a good bar of quality to begin with. I think it's just kind of like there's every once in a while a good one will shine through, but you got to dig through a huge pile of trash to get to it.
I feel
Hmm.
like they should put more laws on it, like more restrictions on just like the
Yeah.
type of stuff that you're able to like sell to like minors and like people who wouldn't know any better, because the whole industry just takes advantage of people who don't know any better and who
Yeah,
haven't like
especially
learned.
kids.
Yeah, it's super toxic.
Yeah, like basically Candy Crush
Awesome.
is just a fucking was just like a money grubbing machine that preyed on like children and like stay at home moms. Like
Yeah.
they made most of their money. That company made like the majority of its money just by like taking people's money, like getting them addicted and then like taking their money.
It's like this generation's equivalent to gambling addiction.
To wrap everything up, we do got a lot. We all have a lot of nostalgia for those games. I mean, even though I don't really play mobile games anymore, I still look back and remember some of them pretty well, like pretty fondly. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Sorry if it was kind of a clusterfuck. It was kind of mess. We've had a lot of internet and connectivity issues, but hopefully some editing will kind of smooth it out a bit, and it won't be as bad for you guys. And if you like this episode, please consider liking. If you really liked it, subscribe. And if you really, really liked it, consider donating us some of your shekels. For just $3 a month, you'll get a shout out on every episode, and you'll get to hear your name in our smooth, sensual, velvety voices.
It's very exquisite.
Indeed. But with that said and done, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. See ya.
If you reach this part in the episode, I will personally give you a hug.
I don't know why. I must have a dirty mind, but when I thought you were about to say, if you like this, I will personally give you a hand job.
This is family friendly. Anyone can listen to this. Everyone's
Yeah.
welcome on our podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad found this and he says he's going to share it to some of my relatives in New York. So
Wait,
hope
seriously?
you guys
Oh, fuck.
enjoy it.
No,
Oh,
no,
shit.
oh god, no.
I wasn't just going to say no.
Oh god, no. I
Dude,
would say no.
If my mom was like, "Oh, I was thinking about showing your podcast to grandma," I would say, "No, do not do that, please."
Oh.
Well, I wouldn't.
That's how
I
you
wouldn't
get
share it to my
disowned.
grandma.